Remember the 20th time. Okay.
The 20th.
Okay, hey.
What's up, guys?
Hey, welcome to Chick Chat.
KC,
man. KC.
in the house.
Who's here? Let's look. Yay. Hello. Amanda's in the house. Virginia Beach.
Hello.
All right.
Where's the
Amanda,
KC people?
Amanda, I'm sure you know that song. I couldn't keep it on. You get striked if, I do not own the rights to that song. And it's not September 1st. And I can't sing it.
Close.
Oh, we switched sides. Look at that. We did.
Over
I was
here.
like, whoa, you're over there. I'm over here. All right. I'm going to have to figure out how to do it then. Well, okay, ready?
I know. I was like, oh, maybe I can actually get it right now.
Okay, cheers.
Nope.
Cheers, everybody. So if you saw my little intro, who do you think is under the weather this evening? Who? Who do you guess? I don't know what you win if you guess right.
You win nothing.
You win accolades. You win accolades. You win your name or something like that.
You win the answer.
Sandy is under the weather. How'd you know, Teresa? All right. Accolades to Teresa. Yeah. See the little tea bag. And Amanda, she's a singer. She's a worship singer. She's amazing. Yeah. Right. Michael, you were too late and you would have cheated because you knew. So you have a teacup. That's right.
That's right. Ginger, I am not under the weather and I do not have a teacup.
Ginger lemon tea with lots of lemon slices. So Amanda, do you use that trick with the honey and the lemon before you sing if you're feeling a little So yes, thank you. Teresa won. She's good. She thinks I'm doing a hottie toddy. I should have. What am I thinking? What was I thinking, Heather? Yeah.
Okay, so before we get too far into this, I know there's some people on here that are from KC. I saw your name pop up, so say hi.
Yeah, if you don't say hi, it didn't happen. If you didn't say hi, she doesn't win. She doesn't win. Just
my people, speak up. Use your voice. All these Virginia people.
So far, I'm winning, and it's not my birthday.
There's one, Caitlin.
There we go. Hey yo! Aw, cute little wedding picture. So, how's everybody doing? We've been gone for a couple weeks, eh?
Just one.
One?
We just missed one. You haven't been long.
I feel like I've been gone for a month. It's like, yeah. Got me a tan. You guys can't tell.
Well, we had the one. So,
yeah. That's all right.
But we're back.
We're back. So, yeah. We have some really heavy subjects tonight. So, we'll see if we get to them both. So, what's in that? What is in that cup? Okay, what's in the cup? What's in your cup, Heather?
My cup? My cup is Screwball on the Rocks.
Oh, well, alrighty. Now, what's in mine is just boring tea, which I should have put some whiskey in it because that is really the remedy. Hello.
Maybe that's why I'm not feeling bad.
That's right. And no, I do not have the COVID. Okay, just going to say. She spent the day at the beach. How nice. Oh. From Shots. Ooh, I hate Shots.
Mm-hmm.
Shot. I only like the ones when they go shot. And hey, go Chiefs, by the way. So Thursday.
What?
Yeah, go Chiefs, man.
My boys pulled out a win.
I know.
Yeah.
So Thursday night, I was walking down the beach and I hit a little pub right before the condo I was staying at, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm missing the game. I forgot it's a Thursday night game. So I sat down, didn't have my jersey on, which, is bad juju. But I remember when we gave up drinking, and we all gave up drinking at the same time, and they were in the
Never again.
weren't they in the finals or something? Like it was like a big game, and they were like, the people at our table, we were like, oh yeah, we're all not drinking, we're just drinking soda, and they were losing. And so then we were kind of made to drink a couple things because they were losing. As soon as we started drinking,
and they scored a touchdown.
Yeah, it happened to me again in Florida. As soon as I sat down, they got me a fireball.
Fireball work.
I was like, well, there we go. So, and we do not, disclaimer, we do not recommend alcohol abuse on this show ever as an addiction. We're just joking around, by the way. So if you have a drink, it's,
we only promote healthy drinking.
Yes. Yeah. Whatever that, I in moderation, everything in moderation. That's what they say, right?
Everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation.
So
yeah, you're starting tonight because we'll see.
Okay.
Authenticity. So go ahead.
Authenticity. I think that the best way to start that would just be to ask, are you being your authentic self? And what does that look like? So for me, I, up until a couple of years ago, didn't know who I was, or I couldn't be my authentic self, because if you don't know who you are, you can't really be authentic. So hey, Bren, as I told you earlier, I was being authentic tonight because I have on very little makeup. My hair's in a messy bun, and I'm wearing yoga pants and a tank top. That's about as authentic as it gets right there. But I used to be the person that was different with every group that I hung out with, because I had no idea who I really was. And now I know who I am, and I'm authentic everywhere I go. And I understand that I'm not for everyone, and that's okay. Whereas used to, if someone didn't like me, I would go home and be like, what did I do? What did I say? What should, and totally freak out about it. And now I'm like, okay, cool.
Right.
It's fine.
Well, I am going to flash up this meme that kind of like says that. Don't trade your authenticity for approval. Love and accept yourself for all that you are, and then watch your life bloom. And that's the total truth. 100%.
Yeah.
Love that. So, yeah. And I've seen you on that journey, and you met me at a time.
Friends, what, 3 years now?
Yeah. And you met almost 4. Anyway.
Oh, almost. Yeah.
So when you met me, I was just blossoming into some, out of my old labels and things of not being, I'm analytical and literal. So sometimes when my authenticity revolved around my roles in life, like I was a wife, I was a mother, I was a pastor, I was a, office manager, I didn't think of my identity as separate from those. Right. So I kind of didn't know who my true self was. I only stamped it with every title I had, which was so different, So, hey, Robert, you see me on LinkedIn? That is awesome. Nice to see you, Robert. So,
yeah. And I think that, I think that's part of why when I, got to be a couple years ago, my kids were growing, and I didn't know who I was, because you take away the mom, the wife, the blah, 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 go down the list. And it's like, okay, so then what am I? I'm no longer a wife. I'm still a mom, but my kids don't, not raising my kids anymore. So then you have to figure out what the next step is. And that's what I've been doing the last couple of years.
That's right. I mean, and you have to just peel away all of those layers. It's like the onion. You have to peel them all away to understand, who you are at the root.
And I see
and
Bren's comment. Thank you, Bren. I love you. She comment. There you go.
yeah. So, how do you guys feel about that? I mean, what do you think about your true self? And this is how I think of it, is that my true self is my foundation and my values. Like, my foundation and values are who makes me who I am now. It isn't what I do. It isn't who I'm the parent of. It isn't who I'm associated with. It isn't my material possessions. It truly, truly is who I'm walking in my foundation and my values. And so that is huge, because, like when you met me, I was struggling with that piece of it. Like, okay, what are my values? What is my foundation?
Right.
And I mean, this is the thing, is that our authentic selves evolve and change all the time. Like,
exactly.
The more you learn, the more revelation you get, the more awakening you get, you change. And then you're more of your authentic self. And that's when that energy can flow, right? So that's where the authentic energy comes from. Like, I don't know, I know you well enough to know, someone who's telling you BS from the first 5 minutes you talk to them, right? That person's telling me a little bit of, they're not being their authentic self. They're just trying to, vie for whatever. I mean, sometimes you can get that revelation about you, and then it opens up a whole nother avenue of you being able to see who is not living out their authentic self also,
Right. But I also think the other side of that is when you are being authentic to yourself, you're more able to meet people where they are, instead of
and help them along.
Finding out or picking out things about them, because usually the things you pick out about other people are the things you need to work on with yourself.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, I've become a lot more able to meet people where they are, instead of saying, well, they should be, or they should, well, they don't do this, or they.
No.
So I think that it's all a process that once you evolve, it all kind of comes together.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is when you're walking in, and like you're saying, when you're walking in your authentic self, you're more able to have grace and peace and love with people, because you're not insecure.
Yeah.
You're not insecure on who you are. You know who you are. And so anything anybody else says or does, you're kind of unshakable. You're just kind of like, okay. And you just take it and you go, okay, that person is going through something. What is it that I, as a person, and giving grace and love, what can I show them? How can I teach them? Or if they want to be, that is, I mean, I just don't give out unsolicited, advice. I mean, if they were to ask me, that. So yes, I just said that's it. Yep. It helps you to be more humble and empathetic. It does.
And I think also that when you're at that point, you're also able to say that, have that grace, but also understand that you don't want those people in your close circle, because the phrase "you are what you hang around with," or who you hang around with, is so true. And if you're not surrounded by people that are building you up and pushing you, and Bren has been, I wouldn't be where I am today without Bren. I'll just say that and leave it at that. But you have to surround yourself with those people that push you and guide you as you find your way, instead of people that are pulling you down or trying to say, oh, you don't need to do that, or you don't.
Right. So Teresa, that's good. We do that. We do try to conform, like she said, like she said, she was, trying to be whoever she was hanging around, even if it wasn't her, just to be, and then at the end of the night going, why am I so upset? It's because she wasn't her true self.
Right. Or anxious, or, it's all of that stuff. Like, I don't have, now that I'm being authentic and I'm living in my purpose and all that, like, I don't have the anxiety that I used to have. I don't have panic attacks like I used to. Like, all of it, it's just a place of peace that you don't have when you're constant. It's exhausting trying to be somebody different than who you actually are.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to, it's funny. Um, if you've ridden on a plane and the plane is full, people are like right on top of you as you're sitting there, right? So this girl gets on, and I could tell she had social anxiety. Like she didn't want to sit with other people, and it was really upsetting her. And I could see it, on her. And luckily she sat with me and this other lady who kind of were like, it's okay, and she's like, I'm so sorry, because she took the middle seat. And you know how people get upset when that middle seat is taken? They do. I mean, people have a whole vibe on the plane. Um, so so she was in a tizzy. And and me and the other lady were older than her, much older than her. And she was just you could tell she was struggling. And unfortunately, you have your phones all out like this,
Right.
so her authentic self, her husband was up ahead in the middle seat also, so they didn't get to sit together. And like she was younger, so she had her Instagram open, and so she's like flipping through pictures. And it's right there, I can see it. I'm not like trying to look at her stuff, but she kept drawing into looking at pictures of her and her family and her husband to calm herself down.
Right.
And so, I mean, that is authentic. It had anxiety, and she was trying to pull herself in with her foundation. I was thinking, how neat is that? And she was like it was giving her peace to look at her foundation of who she was with as a wife, obviously a daughter or whatever. you know and so, I mean, that was really cool that she knew how to self-soothe herself,
Right.
and be able to get through that. So, if I'm just an outsider, so I'm like, okay, her authentic self is, I don't know what she does for a living, doesn't matter. She really loves her life because she loves the people that are in it. And so
Yeah.
that's what helped her get through being uncomfortable, on a plane. Or maybe she was even a uncomfortable flyer. But, I, if you were to look at somebody's social media and what they take pictures of, I think you could find your authentic self in there. Like, I think when people are lost, what do you take a picture of? What are you focused on? What do who is it? you know I mean, what are you saving those pictures for? Like, I take a million pictures, that. I just take a million
Right.
pictures.
And I think it goes back to, again, those pictures generally go back to what your why is. What is your why? And
Right.
I think Facebook, people say it's your highlight reel. Yes, obviously it is. I just did a speech last week about how everybody posts when they buy the new BMW, but no one posts when they get repossessed. Like, that's just what Facebook is. And as long as you realize that, then you're okay. But I think you can learn a lot about a person by looking through
Yeah.
their Facebook, whether you want to date them, whether you want to hire them. For me, before I hire anybody, I check out their Facebook page. And I look and see, do they have drama constantly on their page? Yeah, I'm not hiring you. I don't have time to deal with that. If
Right.
I'm looking to date somebody, you can learn a lot about their Facebook. People can learn a
You
lot
can.
about me on my Facebook. Do I look like someone you want to date or not? Like,
Now,
there's just a
sometimes
lot.
I
It's
put,
very telling.
well, I call it fake book sometimes, because I feel like it's who you're putting up. That's who you're putting up. It's not
Right.
always the authentic self, right? Because some people might think my authentic self is a little kooky. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean,
What?
they might.
They might, right? But
Hold on.
but they're authentically barking at her or barking at somebody. So let's see. I sort of post on the things I love: husband, my house, cooking, and the beach. Right. So there's your authentic, those are the things that you're focusing in on, and things about you. But so Heather, where were we going to go with this? Were we going to talk about, what if somebody doesn't recognize that they're walking in their authentic self? There's a lot of people out there who think that they are, but because of brokenness and because of trauma and because of all those things, they're working in the conscious world, but their subconscious is doing all kinds of other things back behind here. So, you know,
Well,
what
and I
what
think
is
that goes
your
along with what
view?
you said
What is your
about not
view
knowing who
on
you
how to
are.
get them? I mean, how to get them from that, authentically? How do you get to your authentic self? What was the process you used to get to your authentic self? You didn't just like wake
You
up and
know,
go, okay, I'm gonna be authentic today.
maybe. No, it starts for me. For me, it started with me not doing things that I didn't want to do. Being able to say, that doesn't feel like something that sounds fun or feels good to me. It's like, I'm not going to do that. And being able to stop being a people pleaser and just say no. And you and I always say, no is a complete sentence. I don't need to give you an explanation, and again, that's coming into your authentic self of knowing what you, like I said, I think I told you, I always said I don't like art, but I've never even gone to an art museum or an art. So how do I know I don't like art? So it's doing all these different things, all these new things, and saying, yeah, I was right, I don't like that, or yeah, I do. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Okay, so let me mark that as something that I like. And learning yourself, dating yourself.
Yeah.
Learning to like yourself and enjoy being alone with yourself is the main starting point.
Right.
And then from there, it's just.
And there are a lot of people that cannot be by themselves. Like they absolutely cannot. Like they have to find someone to go, be with, be around. They really can't. They don't know how to be at peace with themselves. And that's where you build. That's where the self-esteem comes from. That's where finding your authentic self is really matched up also with your self-esteem. Your self-esteem, you have to be strong in your self-esteem to kind of say yes and no. You had to put boundaries up. If you're kind of weak in your self-esteem, you're going to say yes to everything. You're going to allow life to happen to you, and you're not going to go towards making things happen and putting those boundaries where they should be in your life. You're just going to let, your friend, whoever call you up and go, hey, let's go down to such and such. And, maybe.
Let's be honest. You and I were there 4 years ago when we met. You and I were never home. We were everywhere all the time, every day, every night, out and about. And now, like this past weekend, I was supposed to go out of town. I didn't go. I didn't tell anybody. I just wanted to be home by myself, chilling. Like, I spent the day on Sunday with my girls, but Friday night, Saturday, all day, Saturday night, I was just here by myself, and it was perfect.
Well,
and that was not where I was 4 years ago.
Well, and that kind of leads us into my topic tonight, which is purpose, right? So let me ask you,
yep.
on you stayed home with yourself, and what did you work on? What did you do?
Not a darn thing.
Did you just do rest?
You
just rested, or did you watch something, read something that was going to educate you, get you, or did you just unplug?
I completely unplugged because I've been going nonstop for months on it.
Right.
Like, I can't remember the last time I just unplugged.
Oh, that's
and
good.
There's been a lot of growth and some negative stuff going on. And so I literally journaled. I got a hammock chair on my porch. I sat on that all weekend when it was cool. I went to the gym. Like, I did self-care all weekend.
That's good. That's good. But and I hear you saying, you're cognizant that you can't do self-care all the time to get you wouldn't be able to get things done, right? And so my topic is about how to find your purpose. Like now we talked about, taking those labels off of who you are and your role. And a lot of people think their purpose is their profession, and they're mistaken because they're not always the same. However, once you figure out that purpose in yourself, sometimes you can line up your profession with your purpose. And then those are the people that you see that are just like on fire. They're passionate about what they do. They just love going to work. They love it because they're walking in their purpose, and
Yeah, that's
you
what
know,
I'm trying to do now.
yeah. And so I think a really good telling thing about how to figure out your purpose is, I mean, think about yourself before life happened to you, like when you're a kid. What were the things that you like to do? You know, what were the things that you did like to do? Like that's when we're figuring out who we are, and we do figure out that we're different. All our personalities are different. All our likes are all different. And like you were saying, you've just come out of being authentic, not authentic, because you were, and then Teresa too, about being conforming and all that. But really, you didn't do that at first when you were a little kid. Like you didn't. You did what your mom and dad said to do. But when you were alone playing, like what was your, you and I talked about the Barbie thing not too long ago, but but
Barbie was my world.
Yeah, Barbie might have been your world, but Barbie probably acted like she probably did things that maybe interest you. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I don't want to know what your Barbie said. Anyway, yeah.
Barbie and G.I. Joe, and G.I. Joe used to beat Ken up. Is that what we talked about?
That we figured out that's where our men issues started, because we like G.I. Joe better than Ken.
Still do. I'm sorry.
But your purpose, like, I think about that, I've done a lot of purpose driven life, Bible study. I've done purpose, a lot of different purpose planning, trying to figure it out, and it's so funny because it kind of goes back to what I ever did. I like to draw and I like to write, and I like to help people, and we were talking about the elderly, and that, I should just go work, with the elderly, and I loved doing that as a kid. Like, I loved going to the nursing home and seeing the geriatric people that were in my grandmother's life that she would go visit. And I loved that because I knew that we were making them happy. So, it's like, it's kind of funny because I can see that my purpose somehow has something to do with that, is going to later, like I can see that that's a part of me that is a purpose for me, but I mean, you have to come back to asking yourself a couple questions, and I have them written down right here. Which question number one, if you don't know what your purpose is, what do you love to do? And Teresa, you said earlier, you love your husband, you love cooking, you love the beach, you love your home
and our house.
So yeah, you love your house. So how can so my advice is, for anybody listening, what do you love to do? Write at least 4 or 5 things down. What do you love to do? And like me, I like travel, music, there's all these things that I love to do. But how do you bend that into what your purpose is, right? Also, why do you, so write those down. And then the next thing is, why do you do the things you love? Why do you do those things? What is it that makes you tick? And just write that down. And this is just like it's getting through the layers on what do you like to do? It's getting to who you are. What do you like? Why do you like it? Okay. And I guess you can guess maybe. And the third question is, what impact do your favorite things have? Like, if you were able to pick and choose a career that lined up to those things that you love, and then you could have impact with people, what would that be? What would that look like? So, and if something stirs you up and gets you excited, then that you're on the path of what your purpose is. Like, that is what your purpose is.
And I would even add to that, is there something that scares the crap out of you, but you can't stop thinking about it? That's how I got to my purpose. That's what led me to becoming a speaker, and that's what I'm working towards. But it's something that scares the crap out of me, but it's something that it keeps continually coming back to the surface of what I want to do.
Yeah. 2 years ago, I asked her to do the show and she said, no way, not doing it. Maybe on a podcast, but not my face. You know, my dad has a great line. He goes, I have a great face for radio. That's what he always says. I have a great face for radio, which, you know, is funny, but not true in your case. You were just scared. You know, you were just fearful. And you're right. If it's got some fear behind it, you got to get out of your comfort zone. That comfort zone is making you not strive for what it is that you're supposed to be doing, and it's just holding you back. It's an obstacle. I mean, I'm 54 years old and I'm just now getting into that unfolding of the layers and going, okay, this is really what I want to do. This is really my call. You know, I feel like this is my calling. You know, I have God who helps me in that manner to push me this way and open these doors, shut those doors, you know, those kind of things. You know, as soon as I figured out the purpose, then I'm able to pray correctly too. I'm able to say, God, help me do this. You know, if this is your will, you know, and what you're wanting me to do also, because I believe in lining my purpose up with what he wants me to do as well. So, you know, but you have to ask yourself all of those questions, you know, I mean, what is it that you want to do? And even in your purpose, like 20 years ago, which I can't believe it's 20 years ago, I was Irish dancing. And I would tell everybody got, oh, so what do you do? And I'm like, I'm an Irish dancer, you know? So, but my purpose at the time was to be an Irish dancer. Okay. Cause I loved it. I was passionate about it. It was my purpose. I lived, I eat, you know, I had Irish music on, I wore Irish everything, you know, that at the time I was really identifying with that. It was really making me passionate. And then it evolved into me teaching it instead of doing it. Right. So in your purpose, sometimes you evolve, sometimes you stay in the initial stages of it, and then it changes too. You know, and as it changes, other doors open up and then you see more purposes. I mean, I don't think we have one purpose. I think we have many purposes. I don't think it's just one thing. And I think it's different in each season. You know, I mean, like I said, I had all these labels, but my true authentic self, it's like, okay, you know, where am I headed now? You know, I'm going to stay in the present right now. What am I doing right now? You know, it's not about the past me. And it's kind of not even about the future me. It's the present me. You know, what is going to light my fire? You know, what makes me tick? You know, what is it? You know, what got me up today? You know, and I think your purpose just is really, you know, sewn into that. So anyway, what do you have to say about that, Heather?
I think that, I don't know, I think there's several ways of finding your purpose. I think there's several ways of, you know, filtering through all of it to figure out what your purpose is, what brings you life, like what brings you to life. And I think the thing is that so many of us, we know our purpose, we just let fear keep us from living our purpose, or the insecurity of, I can't, or, you know, whatever your voice tells you. And I think the key is, if you know, when you think about doing blank and your heart feels good and your face lights up, you've got to figure out a way to do it. And, you know, like you said, 2 years ago, you asked me to do your show and I was like, no way, I'm not going to do it. Not going to happen. You know, now if I hear the work, I've done all the work, I've got my own podcast, I'm doing this show, I'm speaking on a stage, like, I would never have gotten there if I didn't just fight through the fear. I'm still scared every time I get on stage, but each time I do it, it's a little bit easier. Each time I do the show, it's a little bit easier.
That's
podcast, all of it. So, you know, my thing for everybody is just at what, you know, you said you're 54. I just turned 50. At what age are you going to do it? You know, we're running out of time.
I see. And that's where we're different. I don't think so. I don't think I'm running out of time.
Well, we're not going to live to be 150.
No, but every day I'm going to,
you know, we're at least halfway through our, don't do it now.
Well,
you know,
if you read
You don't think you're at least halfway through your life?
Well, if you read the statistics on entrepreneurs that started their companies and they failed and they failed and they failed and they finally were successful, it's usually in their later 50s and 60s and 70s. That's what's amazing about that, is that it took them that long to get to that place, right? So hey, I'm not old enough yet.
Well, I think that depends on when they
Mindset.
start.
It's a mindset. It's a mindset.
It is a mindset. But my point
So-
being, we're halfway at 50, we're at least halfway, if not more than halfway through our life.
Yeah.
So if not today, when?
Well, it's got to
That's
be
the
today.
question.
It's got to be today. It's got to be today.
Right.
It's got to be today.
Exactly.
Right. So to be your authentic self, push through those layers, get to know who you are, what your foundation is. And then for your purpose, same thing. What do you like to do? How are you going to do it? How can that help you to impact other people, or even just your lifestyle on what your purpose is, So are we already? Oh no, we're not. I thought we were over for some reason.
Nope.
Wow, we're talking fast tonight. I know. What's going on? So, okay, anybody have anything to add to that? Would love to hear what you have to say about that and your purpose. Sometimes I believe that since we have so many different purposes, like sometimes you're put in something and you're not even aware that's your purpose until it you're in it. Like I, a couple of years ago, became a health educator and a weight loss clinic. Well, I did it out of necessity at the time because I needed a part-time job and I knew somebody and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I ended up in an office and they offered me this other position. Like I was going in there just for a admin kind of position. And they were like, yeah, you have too much experience. How about if you do this, be a health educator? Because I was on the weight loss journey and everything. And I had no idea that I was walking in my purpose at the time. Like as soon as I started doing that job, I loved that job. Every day I was excited. I woke up, I had my PowerPoints and I had my motivational stuff, and I had no idea that all the things that I wanted to do lined up with this job. So I had no idea. And it was just the most amazing thing, because then I was walking in my purpose, and it gave me some awesome training to stand in front of a class and to teach. So, then it brought me into, well, duh, Sandy, okay, you've been a teacher since, this time, I probably should have become a teacher. That's what I should have done. That's the college, I should have done the whole thing. And I realize that now I'm a teacher. I love teaching. I want, I used to do it as a trainer in the corporate world. I'd be like, hey, somebody's struggling, I would go help them, so you have to know your personality, and, and I'm extroverted. So, this health educator job was perfect for me, and I didn't even know it. It just kind of opened up for me. So sometimes you're lucky enough to just walk into it, like, oh, this is what I'm doing. This is awesome. So Teresa, I'm not going to read your whole thing, and we're just going to read it. Well, I mean, if that lights you up, what resources do you need? If anybody's watching this and knows of crisis intervention and counseling, maybe you guys can open a door for her to, figure that out. If that's your passion and that's what you want to do, maybe you can find a place. I once took a job like at entry level. Like I had already been a manager, I'd done the thing. And then I took a job knowing that if I went entry level into this corporation, that was a good way to get my foot in the door, And so, sometimes that's what you have to do. If it's your passion, you'll find a way, to start at grassroots even. So, I mean, if I find something I like, that's what I try to see. Can I volunteer there? Can I do it for free to start? You never know what doors will open up for you. I mean, if that's what your passion is, put yourself out there to, where you can do that. So, hello, Facebook user. Nice to see whoever you are. You're a silhouette.
Who are you?
You have to give StreamYard your
Who are you, Facebook user?
Yes, who is the Facebook user?
Our mystery person.
Yay, we like mystery people.
Well, I think the thing is that that changes. I used to hate the gym. Like, that's why I haven't gone for so long. And now that I've been back there, like, every day, I'm like, okay, it's time to go. Like, I'm going to the gym. Like, it's something that I didn't used to like that now I'm finding a passion and a love for.
It was a mindset shift.
So, yeah. So we changed.
What, Matt? How in the world are you a Facebook user now? Come on, Matt. I'm a mystery. We know what his purpose is.
Yeah, Caitlin says she can help if you're in KC. Yeah, you're not.
Aw, that's nice.
Much, but
I know. Sorry, Teresa. I'm trying to think of who I know in that realm here, and I'll probably think of somebody. So I'll message you, Teresa.
I mean, I would think there's somewhere in that area that would be needed.
Oh, absolutely. There's so many homeless here right now. Panhandlers, homeless, all of it. Okay, so I don't know if this is still Matt or not. See, he's just being silly now. He's trying to get us, like, right now.
Matt, is that still you? Or is
it still you?
Is there another Facebook?
Who else is on with us about their purpose? like, I mean, I know Michael was on here earlier, and I mean, his purpose lines up with his profession. And I think that's lovely when they marry each other like that. Right. So it's like, if you're not doing what you love, if you're waking up and dreading your job every day, but not all of us can make a career change, right? Like we're, because we have to do it, because, we do until we shift our mind to say, okay, I'm going to risk everything and go for it. So, you can have a mind shift to that. You're thinking that you're stuck, and whatever you're stuck in can be a mindset, and it's your obstacle, and you are the only one that can figure out how to remove that obstacle. Nobody else can, none of us can tell you.
And that's where I'm at now. I don't have.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't have the joy in my job that I used to anymore.
Yeah, we knew it was still you, Matt. We knew it was still Matt, didn't we? Is to share my passions on YouTube. Yes. Matt has a YouTube channel, All Things YouTube. He is an amazing live streamer. So he's got ways on how to set up your studio, what equipment to use. He's got, and that's a passion of his, but that's not his profession. So there you go. But it's his passion and his purpose, but I think he loves his profession too. I mean, like I said, we can have all different purposes. It's not all one. Yeah. I need more lemon. Yep. I'm the sick one. Yeah.
Well, and I think that, and like I said, I've gotten to the point where I'm not trying to. I don't have joy and passion in the company that I own anymore, and so now I'm trying to pivot into something else.
Yeah. Because
I just don't. COVID ruined that. So now it's like, how do you have to keep doing that until you can pay your bills with the other thing. So that's kind of where I'm at now. But
right. So mugs up. Since I have a mug. Mugs up.
Mugs up,
everybody. Mugs up, everybody.
That's a different show.
So anybody else want to add anything? Look at him. My profession is being a geek. Business analyst. That's cool. And cheers to you, Teresa. So yeah, I hope you find your purpose in the midst of all of this, in a different location, different place, you know. I used to be I was a military wife, and any new place we would go to, um I would just get on, I'd find out where the main road was, and because I needed to find out where the grocery store was and all that. I never asked anybody for a map, nothing. I just got in the car. I just drove down the main roads, right? To go, okay, where is everything? And that's how I used to map it out. I just had faith that I would find what I needed. I just had faith always that I would get navigated to the right place and find the right spot. And I think faith comes into all of it too. You have to have a little bit of faith. You have to have some faith in yourself, and faith in knowing that even tomorrow, that you're going to find out something new. I'm excited about life a lot. So let's see. Oh, Matt, how can I be a motivational mentor? He does want to do that.
The motivational mentor is the name of my podcast and my YouTube channel. And it is fun.
Yeah. So Matt and I have a show on Friday nights called Super Terrific Awesome Show. Did you know that? Did you know I have another show? Super Terrific Awesome Show with Matt, the Facebook user. There you go. Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust. Yeah, I love Pixie Dust. You see that, right? I love it. But there's some of us out there like that. Sometimes I'm not happy. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some days I'm like, let's see. It is a great place, Virginia Beach. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit. So we might need to close in a minute.
Yeah, I think
I'm losing my voice, but you can keep talking though.
we can plug all of our stuff and we can be done. We cover both of our topics, and I think that
let's close on. Okay, so getting to your authentic self. How do you do it, Heather?
Like I said, get to know who you are, what you stand for, what's important to you, what you don't enjoy. That's the first step.
Okay. And then for me, it's going through those questions of your purpose. How do you know what your purpose is? What do you love to do? Why do you love to do those things? And then what impact do your favorite things have on others or yourself or your lifestyle? What impact does it have? So if you could figure that out and then line up all the other things with that, that's where that fulfillment piece comes in. You're walking in your authentic self and your purpose. What an awesome thing. What an awesome thing to do.
What a super terrific, awesome thing to do.
Yeah. Super terrific, awesome show. There we go. For the win. Matt and Sandy, your host, shows most Fridays. Oh, there you go. He's plugging it. Thank you. Because I'm not good at plugging it. So there you go. Anyway, and there you go.
You can catch us every Tuesday at 6 p.m. my time, 7 p.m. your time.
Yep.
I have a podcast, The Motivational Mentor, on Spotify. And
yeah, I have a podcast too on Sash Coach, and it's on Anchor. I only have 6 episodes so far. I've not got past that, and it has a little bit of calming and meditation in it. So I know that you guys would be surprised about that probably, but that was when the pandemic struck, and I felt like I needed to do that platform. So anyway, and then I have Sandy Archer Spiritual Health, a show that I will be restarting. I keep saying, obviously it's going to be in October now, and I'll have some guests on, and we'll have all different diverse topics. So I hope you join me then, and I'll let you know when that comes up. So thank you guys always for coming in and joining us. And we really appreciate this. And your interactions are amazing. Please like and share us on YouTube and the Facebook page. If you could share this live stream, we would appreciate it. So you guys have an super terrific time.
Super awesome time.
Yes. And this is the chick. Yeah, I was on the wrong show. Sorry. No, this is a great chick chat. Sorry. I like chicks and he likes chatting. Well, that's nice, Matt. We're glad. So thank you, Teresa, for joining us, and you're welcome. And we will see you next time. And we are going to sign off and peace out.